All right, hopefully this is working. We had some first half difficulties with the stream.
We apologize to Lance Bailey. We missed your free kick goal, and Nick Novak, your first opening goal.
Yeah, as you see, it's 1-1 here just after the half.
Recap the first half. Crestview got on the board just under 3 minutes into the first half with Novak found himself free, dribbling past the Salem defenders, putting the ball in the back of the net, and Salem evened up the score when Lance Bailey took a free kick. An absolute rocket hit the side netting around the wall in the back of the net to tie it up, and that's where our first half ended at.
Wish you could have seen it. Oh, God. Our last game of the year happens to be our first major difficulty. Hopefully something to improve on for next year. Things that we talked about in the first half, there's a lot of possession by both teams, kind of went in spurts, but then opportunities in front of goal also. If I had to guess, I'd say that Crestview outshot Salem, but not by much.
Right. I'd say Salem outpossessed Crestview by a little bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Crestview goes, they let's see here. As Crestview goes, there's no secret what they're trying to do offensively. They're finding Novak early and often. They're using me either as a facilitator or having him as a target man.
That's a great turn.
Yeah, him and Welch up top's been a pretty good pairing all season long.
Well, it's a foul from behind. That might get a talking to from the referee.
First half, too, we start last 10 minutes or so of the first half. A little bit extra play, a little extra physicality after the play was taking place, so I expect the second half to be no different. It looks like Crestview's keeping 5 guys back against Salem's 2 up top. And if Salem wants to get any more goals, they need to start flying some more players forward. I don't know, Pasco up top, number 10, he's a hustle, pretty speedy player, but he's going to need some more help up there. Is he wearing shin guards out there? 14.
It doesn't look like it, does it? I had to do a double take.
Yeah.
I also made the cartoon sound in my head when I did the double take. The what? The Chris Berman. Whoop.
Go back, find some space again. Right there it is.
Oh.
That was number 16 of Crestview, Brendan Dolan, recipient of that cross from Novak.
Yeah, we got that one on tape. 2-1 advantage. Crestview trying to get off the, Salem trying to get off the schneid. Last 3 games have been all Crestview. What was the score, Stan?
Last year was 6-0 Crestview. 2020 was 7-1 Crestview, and 2019 it was 5-0 Crestview. That was a 3-3 tie in 2018. So that goal happened again. Novak got in behind Salem's defense, gave him some free space, allowed him to pick on a pass, and made a perfectly weighted pass to his teammate in Dolan, who calmly just put it in the back of the net.
Yeah. That's a good ball, and that's a lot of space he's got there. Defenders are just backing up, and that's why. Let them make the mistake.
Good
This could be dangerous.
That was a good give and go play leading up to it.
That's one of those shots where you're just like, oh man, you so wish you could have done better.
Yeah, I think Novak was going for placement there and missed it because he didn't look like he was trying to put a lot of power behind it.
Looked like they went up, straight up and down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a contact sport. There's going to be bumping.
Mr. Restart. No, it was not Mr. Restart taking that free kick there.
No, it was not.
Even when the referee makes a call in your favor, he still gets you on it.
I just want to know, like, yeah, he called it. He got it. I mean, excuse me. The first initial, like, hey, yeah.
An outcast?
Hey, yeah. No, we have not been drinking. Which is exactly what someone who was drinking would probably say.
Looks like the referee's trying to keep this under control.
Yeah. Called a little bit tighter here in the second half.
Great step by Welsh right there.
I noticed that Salem, when push comes to shove, they revert back to just booting it as far as humanly possible and resetting.
And that plays right in the Crestview's hands.
Absolutely. It's something they weren't doing a lot of in the first half.
I've seen quite a few give and goes this half from Crestview.
Mm-hmm. That's the same thing he called the other way there.
I apologize if your feet is shaking. I am shivering.
It's all falling off the rails this last game.
Because of my inability to plan ahead.
Goal kick. All right, all systems go. We're back at it.
Bailey throws that ball. It looks like he barely even tries to throw it. And he gives it a 30-yard whip every time.
Yeah, gotta stay fluid.
I think the play leading up to that, where he was grabbing from behind, I thought could have been a foul, but I thought what he got called for was not one there.
A bit of a makeup, I think. Mm-hmm. While they're waiting to play this in, let's talk about our sponsors. Armstrong Cable, Boating Perry, Packard Thomas, Meyer Store, Allstate with Robert Fusco, and Alco Foundry. The quick version. How much do you think the cold weather's playing into the game plan right now?
It's playing into my game plan, so I'm assuming it's also doing it to theirs. It makes it, when you go take a shot, you as a defender, you don't want to stand in front of that because it's going to hurt even worse. Ball's coming in, it's getting a little bit heavier, makes it harder to head the ball, feels a little more solid.
You're probably losing some feeling in your toes too. It will affect your touch.
Yeah. If you go to strike a ball as hard as you can, you miss it slightly. As Bailey sends it over the goal. You definitely feel that. Any little miss-hit of anything you do gets exemplified when the weather starts getting cold out.
All right, 10 minutes in, 9 minutes in. It's 2-1. Crestview over Salem right now.
Both Crestview's goals came within just after, as the game started, 3 minutes into the game, and then they scored within, again, 3 minutes of the second half starting. So, quick starts to both halves from Crestview.
Now, as always, when we go into the second half, we start thinking, who's going to be the player of the game?
What a finish from Novak.
I think he gave us the answer on that one. Kid, do you want 2 shirts? Because you're going to get 2 shirts, probably.
against Salem, they're playing with the sweeper out there, and Novak's finding space in between the stopper and sweeper, like we talked about in the first half. That unfortunately you guys didn't get to hear about. But what you got to do with Novak, you got to stop him from getting a full head of steam coming right at you. And all 3 goals that came, either the 1 assist and the 2 goals he scored, has come from him having a full head of steam running right at you.
And with that means he's got space.
Yes.
And you cannot give a player like that any type of space.
Even with all that being said, the finish on that, he was going away from goal. Momentum was carrying away, and he slotted that side netting. Not top net, but side netting. It's been a while since
Is that the second best net then?
Any net's good net, but good net's any net.
It's like
top net's the best net.
It's like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good.
Now that Salem's down 2, I am wondering if they're going to start forcing some numbers forward, trying to claw their way back into the game.
And like what we have seen before, you'll see a lot more fouling by the team that's down because they got to apply as much pressure as possible and hope the referee doesn't call it.
It was Berlin for Salem was running that ball down. Observation, the rest of his team was about 4 yards away from him.
Yeah. They've been doing that all game, where it's just kind of like, here's the ball, go do something with it. We don't care how many defenders are in front of you.
Right.
Referee giving them about 10 extra yards.
Salem keeping 4 back, the Crestview's 1 up front. That is a ball that's going to hurt.
Mm-hmm. Or he can't feel it right now. He just went on a little 40-yard fantastic voyage there, didn't he?
Dude, that was Kelm right there of Salem. Ball was closer to going in than I thought it was going to be. But when he hit that, he knew himself. He was leaning back. Didn't get everything he had behind it.
Now, same thing on the other side. You have a goalie standing there doing nothing. You have a guy taking a kick. Why not just tap him the ball and let him dribble out of the back?
Right.
The ball no longer has to come out of the 18-yard box.
You know, he even have options to his right and left. Mm-hmm. That just must mean that the coach wants to get that ball up out of there. And hopefully if a mistake happens, it's up to midfield, not on your defensive end. That's his best explanation.
I really feel like it's going to be a weird comparison, so just brace yourself. That Novak is like Jaws. If he's around you, you're just all nervous. You can hear his footsteps.
You hear the music,
and you're just like, oh my God, it's my turn.
Done. Starts playing fast when he gets right behind you. You're right.
Yeah,
that's because like we talked about in the first half, what you guys didn't get to hear. He hustles. A lot of players of his quality only move the ball play to his feet, but he knows he has to get involved as much as he can to have his team, so his team has success.
Ooh. Great play by the keeper.
Just an observation, the referee had his flag up for offsides as the play started, but one of Crestview's players tried playing the ball and deflected it, which nullified the offsides play, if anybody wondering at home why he was onside. And as that play came in, this is the second time we're going to say it for the night. Berlin for Salem had a run at goal, and the rest of his team was 30 to 40 yards behind, and I don't really know what's going on right now.
He got pushed to the ground, and they called a foul on him. Not 100% sure. Something maybe we are a bit away from the play, and maybe the ref saw something different that we didn't. I didn't think he was going to get to that. Number 10.
Yeah, Pasco again running the ball down. He's been their most dangerous option going forward for Salem.
That's right, Paul. See, you don't want to take that touch immediately backwards. You want to keep it open and get it across the field.
Luke Davis with another good touch on the ball right there. He's been playing a pretty good game at left back. Another good run from Novak. Watching them run side by side, it looked like he was going for a stroll.
Yeah.
While the kid next to him was going as fast as he could. Sometimes real good players just glide out there.
Can't teach speed. I'm sure there's someone out there that's like, yes, you can. Salem player would love to have a second chance at that goal again.
And I feel like I'm beating dead horse again. They played that ball up to the target man up top. Salem didn't follow him again.
And it doesn't look like he's trying to hold up the attack and wait for his players to come up either. It could be a mix of column A and column B not working right there. Corner. Entering the lull of the game here. It just kind of feels like...
Find ourselves with 22 minutes left in the game. Salem's going to have to either pick up the intensity or change a little something up that they're doing if they want to find themselves back in this game. A little cheeky back heel there. Unfortunately, nobody held on the other side of that.
Mm-hmm. He's got time. Picks out a pass. It just doesn't look like Salem, especially right now in the second half, is able to get that off-the-ball movement that was working for them in the first half.
And counter at Crestview definitely is running more off the ball than they were in the first half. I think that opening goal helped things out for Crestview. And not giving up a banger of a free kick that barely put in.
Yeah, but besides that, it's a 3-0 game, right? It's a total domination.
Yeah.
God, wish we would have had that on film, man.
Yeah. I have it in my head if that counts for anything.
It doesn't. But thanks for bringing it to the conversation. Our only chance, Obi-Wan Kenobi, is that WFMJ and their $25,000 camera caught it.
Run again for Pasco. And commentator's curse mishits it.
Yep, and it might be a little cold. That move, when it's 80 degrees outside and you're sweating a little bit, and that move probably works a ton of times.
Right.
It's in the cold. Your toes can't feel them quite as well. You don't have quite as crisp a touch.
I also wonder for Pasco, observation, you say you notice things. He's got his sleeve on one leg. I'm assuming it's because of holding like a knee brace or something like that in play, but it's got to feel weird.
Yeah.
Open environment on your right, closed off on your left.
See, look, this is more connected, and he's got a guy wide.
And they got numbers.
Said he shoots it.
You're right. He did have a guy wide there, make good contact, but more importantly, Salem pushed numbers forward.
Yeah, it wasn't just a hit to one guy and say, "Do your thing. We'll sit back and see if you score." Nicely done. They did a lot more of that in the first half. Then Bears came and aliens. We could just about say anything, right? Darn it. And just so anyone else is aware, this is a no swearing zone since 2018.
No swearing, no table. And there it is. They played short like you've been asking the whole entire game.
Oh, and that's another one where, yeah, you want to give it a wall pass, but he had counties of space on this half of the field. I couldn't think of the right measurement.
Yeah, that's a pretty big measurement.
Yes. All of Mahoning County was on this side of the field. Ooh, trouble. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Trouble.
Yeah, Novak taking on 4 players. There Salem goes. That's all you can do sometimes if you're Salem.
He literally ran around the defender.
Right.
Yeah, we're under 20 minutes. Quarter of the game left.
Now, as a coach for you, this is probably, last game of the season. Getting yourselves playoff ready. I know you want to win a game that you're playing here, but are you looking ahead to try to get anybody some time for come playoff time to see if they'll be ready? Your name's called.
I see what you're saying. Like, kind of just try a couple things, see if you need to have it.
Yeah.
I would imagine that if you're having success in your season, you don't need to change anything.
Right.
So when you have faced adversity, because again, if you're a successful team, you're playing good competition. You're not playing Hearts for Jesus or anything. You know what has worked in the past.
Right.
And that's why a lot of people would say they'd rather not go undefeated and play some tougher competition that are a little bit out of their league than play a bunch of cream pies. Little confusion here at the bottom of the field. And he throws it in. He's onside because there's no offsides on a throw-in. Just over the bar.
Oh, there's my mic.
And dropped it for a second. A little silent over there. If you look at the body language of some of the players on the field right now, but if you look at the body language, Salem has almost like a defeated feel to them.
Right. They came into this game. They have a good record. They're having a very good season. I'm sure they want to come out and with something to prove to beat in the game. And Crestview, first half, they didn't really play a great game, and they found themselves tied going into halftime. The second half here, Crestview's been turning up the pressure.
Looks like we're going to have our first yellow card today.
Who's it going? Okay. Again, went on pass goes Salem.
Yeah.
Coach Ziegler, Salem was trying to state his player's case.
Yeah. And as a referee, I believe he's doing a good job of keeping patient.
He is. One of those MLB experiences where you see the umpire just standing there still while the other guy's berating him. But
yeah.
Sometimes as a coach, you want to show you have your players' backs too when you think they've been wronged.
Yeah.
I think it does go a long way in that.
To an extent. But then, from experience, I've learned that the more you harp on the refs, the more the players will start to focus on the refs and detract from the other team.
You're right. I don't know what the referees are trying to converse about, but looks like we're playing a game of telephone or something.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what he has to say to the Salem coach.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, he's done saying it now, and we're back to action. Back to action. Ooh, that thing was knuckling a little bit.
That was. I thought I had eyes for the back of the net, but Reese of Salem, the goalkeeper, good hands again. And I would like to say the 3 goals that Crestview has put in the back of the net, Salem's goalie had no chance of doing anything against any of that.
He's playing a pretty good game, as good as you can have with 3 goals in.
Good one right there. Good calm outlet pass.
They're really relying on number 4. Is that number 4?
Yeah, it looks like there's a little extra push as well. That's Berlin, number 4 of Salem. First half, looked like he's playing outside mid or left wing. Switched him to striker in the second half. That was Plunkett of Salem is hitting that ball.
Yeah. Not precisely what he wanted, I'm sure.
No. You find yourself down by 2 goals, you're trying to find anything you can. Just give your team a spark. Sometimes it makes you try some things that are very low percentage of working out. That just shows sometimes in your favor. Mishit a goal kick coming out and still works out in your favor.
Yeah, you got the gods in your favor here. That's a great ball in. I know we made some comments earlier in the year about how, Crestview lost a lot of talent, a lot of those players that are instrumental in the state run last year, not all of them, but a lot of them, and that this year might be just a little bit different. But they're doing a very nice job.
Especially with some injuries like they have right now going on.
Yeah.
I'd say Novak raised his level of game as well. That was a question mark that not only we were wondering, but I think all the teams in the area were wondering.
Especially their opponents.
Yeah. Yeah, the pounding that Crestview has putting on teams for the past couple of years, they're kind of probably hoping to get some revenge put in. But Crestview's done a good job. The coaching staff's done a good job of putting a game plan in place and sticking to it.
I do agree with the fan in the stands that, you just keep giving them space and space and space and space, and they're going to pick out an amazing pass.
Right.
You pressure them a little bit, but under control, and make them a little nervous.
Something else that leads to Crestview success is they have stud players right down the middle of the field. They have Novak, Welch, and Yaskola in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 3 solid players right in the middle. That's where you want to have your best players at. You want to be around the ball as much as they can. And it's a foundation of success that Crestview has this year. Crestview comes into this game with a 10-4-2 record. They do have 4 losses on the year, but they're 4 losses against 4 very good teams. They lost to Howland at the beginning of the year, 8-0. They lost to Mooney, who's ranked number 2 in the state. I think Howland's ranked, 5th or 6th in the state in D2. Badger 2-3. They have a very solid year going on. They've also lost to Canfield, who's receiving votes to be ranked in state as well.
And Badger's also state ranked.
Yeah.
So, toughest teams on your schedule.
Right. And something else, Crestview's Division III. I only named Mooney and Badger are Division III, but they do play teams that are up in competition, up in class as well for playoff seeding wise.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Howland's one of the largest Division II schools in the state.
Yeah. I actually thought that was going the other way.
Mm-hmm. There's been a couple today where maybe there's a little, pulling on the shirt or something.
Yeah. Find ourselves 10 minutes to go now in the game. So we talked about this the whole half. Salem wants to try to get back in it, so they're going to have to move from numbers forward. Both a couple shots they've had on goal in this half have come from them pushing numbers forward. As I say, that Novak with another good rip at goal right there.
Now this is the part of the game where a team that's down is like an injured animal. You got to be careful.
Right.
Because they see single digits in the time left and pressure mounts.
Right. I'm sure Salem's also worried about putting numbers forward because they know how quickly Crestview can get on you and attack you in a blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
If Novak does come back and play more of a deeper role defensively, then I think that gives you the green light of Salem is to move numbers forward. Try that again, 5 yards up the field.
Mm-hmm. A little replay action. All right, here's a rules question for you, former coach. Can you have a dangerous play with your own player? Meaning, well, that was probably going to go in too.
Right.
Can you have a dangerous play, meaning that it almost just happened here? Player goes to put their spikes real high up in the air, and his teammate came and kind of got in the way. What if you would cleat high? Is it still a dangerous play because there's others around you, or because it's your own team, you're good?
I don't know the official answer to that. Do they call you for fouling your own team? That's one of those things. I don't know. I wouldn't think it would be a foul because what foul are you infringing on? Normally it says dangerous area of the opponent.
Yes.
If you slide, there's no one around you. You're playing on the ball on the ground, dangerous play. I don't know. That's a good question.
I know, right?
Yeah. Anybody out there? Go ahead and hit up our producer, Jerry.
Oh, yeah, Jerry's here. We forgot to mention her.
8:55, adding 10 seconds to the time.
The 10 seconds that we just lost in life will be added to the clock. We will keep ours the same way and just wait a couple seconds to hit the go button.
That was the first free kick of any sort that Novak did not take for Crestview.
I think he got a little slight injury in that last shot.
That's something, if you're Crestview, you do not want to see happen. You never want your all-state player to pick up a knock going into playoffs, and that conversation about it's gonna be tough figuring out who players of the year are for our coaches district for our awards at the end of the year. Not ours, but actually ours as well. But
yeah,
it's gonna be, there's a lot of good players out here to choose from.
Player of the year, playmaker of the year, brick wall award, golden boot award, coach of the year, team of the year. This is a very detailed explanation. It's a contact sport, and you got to continue to go strong into the ball all the way through the game, even with there's 7 minutes left to go. That's a great pass. I like the short passing. Instead of the big long pass, just a little possession passing in the defense. Would you have shot that?
Absolutely. I don't have to ask you because I already know that answer.
But you're up 3-1. Time's winding down. You've been controlling possession. There's space in front of you, and
that was a definite foul there.
Yeah.
Almost looked like he got it twice.
Pedestrian shot and safe. But then they kick it immediately to the other team. No possession gained.
Yeah. Surprised he didn't let his team work the field a little more before he punted that ball out.
So it's a drop kick, uncontested. Now, my question is, if you're a defender, how close can you get? 10 yards, right?
Right.
So as soon as it's dropped, rush in on it. I'm sure Crestview's fine with the ball just going out of bounds. I got a sub up on the line. My guess is Novak will come out for the remaining 5 minutes of the game. And I'd be wrong.
It does look like Salem has pushed some more numbers forward here. Trying to get something going. Now, any sub for the rest of the game for Crestview will issue a stoppage.
5 minutes remaining, 5 minutes.
Stoppage in the time.
I remember that tactic as both player and coach of just sub as much as humanly possible. Kill that clock.
I also did the same thing. That's actually a pretty good rule that they put in place.
Ooh. we just happened to try to come in
Right.
narrow. And
I'm surprised Novak did not take that shot early. We're going to get Salem for a bad throw there. Or they're going to get him for a ball that went in and out.
yes,
I'm picking up what they're putting down.
yeah, good communication between the referees. He got the ball. I don't think he was putting the defensive player in danger there.
I do agree with you. This looks like it's getting pretty physical, I would take. If I was Crestview, I'd be taking anybody you want to have out. Make sure they're healthy. Take them out right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd even have someone take a knee out there to make sure it happens.
3 minutes and 16 seconds. Some dumb stuff can happen in 3 minutes and 16 seconds. We're stopping the clock here for substitution. Which is a little bit shocking to see the first time I saw this. A little too close.
Just to point out that sub that Crestview made was not one of their main. I'm not saying the player who came out was not good, but I was expecting it to be one of the three we talked about in Welch.
Mm-hmm.
Gaskola or Novak. So I'm getting some numbers forward here.
Have we ever had a player of the game twice in the same year?
Not to my knowledge.
Mm-mm.
Two minutes remaining, 2 minutes.
Well, Welch has had a nice game.
He has. I feel like we've said his name quite a bit. He's been on the ball a lot. Mm-hmm. Novak kind of overshadows everybody else when you're on the same field as him, but Welch has had a good game, like you said.
And as much as you can kill time right now, and it's probably, there's a minute 17 and you're down 2 goals.
I'm absolutely shocked that Novak didn't try to hit that. I mean, the right thing. He did the right thing by playing it into his teammates. But
Yeah.
he's on 2 goals looking for a hat trick,
Yep.
especially with the fouls he's been getting. You know, he's
Just-
been getting hacked a little bit.
That is one thing that when I played, I always had to have an edge to where I didn't like the other team for that 80 minutes.
Yeah. It's time for me to take a shot now.
Yes, they deserve this to me score as much as humanly possible.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, game.
And that's the game here from Salem and for the year for Steel Valley Soccer. Dan, it's been a pleasure all season long. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
To all those people that have watched throughout the year, thank you for supporting us. And
Thank you to our sponsors as well.
yeah, and those sponsors are, let's see if you can hit them.
Myers Stores, Bodine Perry, Packer Thomas. Allstate Insurance brought to you by Robert Fusco and Albico and Armstrong Cable.
Boom, you got them all.
Thank you.
So from our family here at Steel Valley Soccer to yours, have a nice night and nice end of the season.